Yes, people, welcome back to Let's Talk Premier League. We're here for a bit more Argyle news because today Brendan Galloway has signed a new 18-year deal. 18 years, I wish. 18-month deal. Not quite 18 years. Although, if he keeps going for 18 years, why not? But before we get into the nitty-gritty of it, please do hit that like button, hit that subscribe button as well. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. But yes, Brendan Galloway signed a new 18-month contract with Argyle, and I couldn't be happier. I thought, when he was playing before he got his injury, I thought he was phenomenal. I thought he was absolutely brilliant. He was part of that back three of Wilson, Scar, and Galloway that really got us all the way up to the top of the league. Now, obviously, the downhill bit isn't just because we've lost Brendan Galloway. There's been extenuating circumstances, but he has been a big loss to our season and to our back line. I think he's respected. He's a very good defender, and he's had quite the season for us already. I mean, his season sort of unfortunately ended, didn't it, against Wycombe? But he's played 16 times for us this season, netted 2 goals. The first of which was Lincoln in that 2-2 draw, where they got that penalty, didn't they? Conceded by Brendan Galloway, but it was never a penalty. It was even outside the box. So, but we're not going to discuss that, to be honest. And then he scored in that 3-0 win over Bolton when Ryan Broom decided to go swimming down in the Devonport end. He's also had a call-up and made his international debut for Zimbabwe against Ghana in a World Cup qualifier. So, he's really had, for me, he was having a really positive season. International debut, couple of goals, really solid in his 16 games that he played. We were told he was very injury prone. At the time, he didn't really have any niggly injuries that I could think of. Obviously, there was some times that he had to be rested just because we were easing him into it. And then he got that horrific injury against Wycombe, that knee injury that's now ruled him out for the rest of the season. But he was only meant to be here. Well, he only signed a 6-month deal, didn't he? It was a short-term contract, I presume, to protect both us and Brendan in terms of if he was injury prone or for whatever reason didn't really fit in. We weren't tied down to a player for a couple of years. But he came in, had such an impact. Before his injury, there was talks that he was going to be signing a new contract anyway. Then he got his injury, and the club the club felt obliged, and I think the club did it completely the right way in saying, look, Brendan's future at the club is not. There's no worries about it. We'll offer him a new contract. We see a player in there, and we absolutely do. And whether that be us in League One next season or the Championship, I think he'll really add an awful lot to wherever we are. As I said, whether we get promoted and we're up in the Championship or whether we're still in League One, I think he'll really offer an awful lot to our defensive back line, especially if we're playing in a back three or so. I don't think we're moving away from a back three. Schumacher's not really shown any indication of moving away from that situation. So, I think he really does offer us all of the attributes we need. You've got, obviously, Dan Scar, who's a bit more of a no-nonsense centre-back, I think is probably the best way. But he can play a little bit as well. But then having someone like Brendan who can play, can score the odd goal as well, I think that's going to be really key. And that has been really key for Argyle moving forward. And obviously his defensive duties didn't go unnoticed either. He is a phenomenal player that I absolutely do rate and love to bits. And I'm delighted. I'm absolutely delighted, as I'm sure many of you are, that Brendan Galloway is signing that new deal because, I think we did see an awful lot about him that showed a lot of promising signs, and he's had some great things to say about signing the new deal. He said, "I am delighted, to be honest. This is where I want to be. I love the club. I love the players. I love the staff. We have great people working around us. We have amazing fans. So it was a no-brainer, really. I'm going to work as hard as I can in the rehab to get back and be better than before." That is, the epitome of just Brendan, isn't it? He's faced adversities before, he's faced injuries before, He says he's going to work as hard as he can and try and be better than before. And if he can be better than he was, then we really do have some player. And Schumacher also equally as delighted. He says, we are delighted that Brendan has signed a new deal and will be staying at home park. His performances in the early part of the season warranted him being offered a new contract, and he was about to sign it just before his injury occurred. Brendan will now continue his rehab program, and we know he will be doing everything he can be to be back to full fitness as quickly as possible and get back onto the pitch to help the team next season. I've no worries about this deal. No worries. It gives us Brendan for another year, obviously next year. See how it goes. Hopefully he remains injury-free next season and can really kick on, as I say, whatever league we are in, whether that be, as I say, League One or the Championship. I think, as I say, he'll really hopefully kick on and really show everyone what he's about. And then, we can assess the situation again sort of this time next year, and if we want to offer a new contract, we can, and if he really kicks on, then 100% I would expect Argyle to be really trying to keep Brendan at the club. But Niall Dewsnip as well has also spoken. He says Brendan is a quality footballer who brings so much to his club. The new contract not only shows a really good message from the club that we are committed to Brendan and want to help him through his injury, but we also feel he has a big part to play in our future. And as I said, that really does symbolise Argyle, doesn't it? We've had we've always been a sort of family club. We've always been a club that looks after our own and players that we bring in. And I think that does send an extremely positive message to almost every player in the football scene that may want to join Argyle at some point, that, we are a club that looks after all of our players. And I think, some clubs you don't really get that feel, whereas at Argyle, you really, really do. You get that feel that no matter what, we will look after our players, and that is 100% the right thing to do. We all called it at the time when he got the injury. We have to give him a contract. We have to look after Brendan, and it's absolutely fantastic that he's going to be here for next season. And I think that's a really positive sign for the club already. We brought in Alfie Lewis, and we brought in the guy from who was on loan at Swindon. Completely forgot his name, but obviously we brought them in. We've signed Brendan down to a new 18-month contract, which will give us next season with him. Hopefully we can get Ryan Broom on a permanent, whether that be during this window or in the summer. I think the club's plans is to really try and get Ryan Broom. Obviously, there's a recall clause in his contract if he were to be sold. But also in that contract, we have first refusal. So we have, not first refusal, but we have first. Basically, if we match the bid, we can talk to Ryan Broom ourselves. So, there is a lot of positives, and the way we've been dealing with contracts over the last few years has been really positive, and it's been something that I really do commend the club for, and it just shows really the positive direction that the club is heading in. It's just absolutely fantastic, and I couldn't be happier of where Argyle are going. We've had some real bumps in the road of my time supporting Argyle, and I'm sure many of you have had the same bumps, if not many more bumps than I have. But this for me is the most positive that I've seen Argyle. We're run extremely well, from Andrew Parkinson, Simon Hallett, Niall Dewsnip, down to the management, Schumacher, Nance. All of the new coaches that have come in as well. We have seen, this season alone that we are a really competent club. We're proactive, and the future does look bright. The future does look bright, and it's positive to hear Schumacher saying that he wants to get more players in for January as well, knowing how tough the end of the season could be, and the levels of depth we may need. So that's been really positive. Do I think we need another striker? Well, I am thinking maybe not. I am thinking there could potentially be a right wing back that we could go get. But look, if he gets a striker, I completely 100% trust Schumacher, Dewsnip, you know, Parkinson, Hallett, all of them. I completely trust the custodians of our club to do the right thing by the club. So, you know, I have no worries. And I'm really, really excited about this new deal for Brendan. But we are going to wrap it up there. Please do, as I say, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button as well. Let me know what you think of this new deal for Brendan. Are you happy? I can't imagine anyone would be unhappy, but if you are, do let me know in the comments and we can start a conversation about it. But this is being uploaded today, so you know, if you are still watching, then we are going to have Niall's thoughts of the FIFA best you know, awards last night, and then we've also got the new show at 5, and we've got a watch along for Brighton Chelsea at 7:45. So plenty of content coming up for you today, but until next time, thanks for watching, guys, and peace.